Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Toph's Tourney Preview. This is a new series we're doing here at Golden Guardians, where we're doing game shows, we're doing trivia, we're doing a lot of content around Super Smash Bros. Melee the game. This is going to be about showcasing some of the tournaments in the competitive scene that are happening today, and giving you a little bit of a preview as to what I think is going to happen now that we've got what feels like some really big tournaments that are big deals. Feels like almost every other weekend. And, I think coming into this event, we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about the history of Shine with regards to, the recent years, as well as coming into this event, which is going to be incredibly stacked, who's going to be there and how those players have been doing lately, because there's been a lot of movement amongst the top players. There have been a lot of question marks and a lot of exclamation marks with some of these guys who are going to be competing at Shine. People like Mango, people like J-Mook, people like Hungry God. And we're going to see how they do. So, okay. This is the first Shine since 2019, which feels frankly ridiculous. It's crazy that we just haven't had one in 3 years, but that's kind of how everything went because of COVID. So this is the first Shine in 3 years since 2019. And the last Shine was won by Hungrybox. I do believe Hungrybox is the most Shine wins, at least tied for the most Shine wins. Right now, because he's won 2019, 2017, and I think he might have even won in 2016, which I think was the first Shine. I'm like 80% sure. It just sounds correct when I say that out loud. No. Oh, SFAT, that's right. Oh yeah, the first Shine was. Oh yeah, the first Shine. Okay, I take it back. The first Shine was very strange. Because SFAT got second place, beating out Mango. That's right. That was one of the last times that SFAT beat him. But okay, and then you got Plup at 7th. Yeah, I forgot. This Shine was kind of wonky, going all the way down. Although this was, from as far as I can tell, this was a very fun event. Even though I was not there. Which I guess I should bring up. This is also the first Shine that I'll be going to ever. I've never been to a Shine, not since its inception. I think in 2016, and I don't know. I mean, I've heard really good things about the tournament. I know that the team over at Big Blue Esports, shoutouts to She, who I believe is the head TO. I know they do a good job, and everyone kind of speaks highly of this event from a competitor standpoint. Everyone's like, "Oh, Shine's one of those majors you got to go to." A lot of setups, I keep hearing things about the lobster rolls, which makes sense because this is going to be not in Boston, but in Worcester, Massachusetts. I think you say that as Worcester. I don't think you actually say Worcester, even though it looks like it's pronounced Worcester. This is a $6,000 prize pool. This is going to be a major. I will say that Shine has always felt sometimes we toss around in the community, we toss around this phrase super major, which to me is kind of this is everybody's there. This is like Genesis, Evo when that was a thing. Obviously the big house. Super major to me implies I know it's a little bit murkier these days with regards to who counts as one of the big. Back in the day, it would have been the Five Gods, right? In 2015, 2016, it would have been the Five Gods, and you'd expect maybe 3 or 4 of them to be there for it to be a super major. Nowadays, yeah, it gets a little murkier. There's players like J-Mook who came up out of nowhere. There's players who are a little bit less active, like Plup. Plup doesn't really go to everything, but when he does show up, obviously he does usually extremely well. And then you've got Smash Summits, and it's do those count? They're invitationals? But okay, I would say Shine is a major, not necessarily a super duper major. This is one tournament, notably, when I mentioned Plup, I know he's somebody who, for some reason, had this tradition. I think 2 or 3 years in a row, Shine was his tournament where he would go and he would play Samus. And so he was going to Shine every year, and he was going Samus. You've got these sets I think one that stands out to me is Plup versus S2J. From, how do I get the Shine? Is this Shine? What does this say? Melee singles top 8. Shine, I think that says Shine. And this was a set where, Plup was going I think all Fox at this tournament. He was going Fox and Samus and basically not playing Sheik, right? And so, yeah, you had Plup going Fox, and then there was the funny moment where he got stomped through the, where is that? I gotta pull that up. This is one of the more hysterical moments that has happened in, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I remember this happening, and that is very unfortunate. Yeah, for people who don't know, there's There's like a little area where you can clip through the floor, speedrunning style. It's kind of unfortunate if it happens to you. I mean, hey, you can come back, but SJ does stomp him. I guess he reads the angle correctly. I mean, granted, he could have gone this way. He could have gone this way. But I remember this happening at Shine, and so I've always had this kind of impression in my head that for Plup, Shine was like a secondary kind of major to him, where he's usually going Samus or going all Fox, or he's not going Sheik. He's not going like his main, his ultimate like best character. And I guess I don't know. In years past, I kind of attributed to this being a result of, well, same reason that I kind of have never been to Shine before. Shine does tend to take place at a part of the year that just has a lot of tournaments going on. You know, it's kind of hard to top Evo, SmashCon, and then you know, say, okay, now we're gonna have another really serious super major. So for people like Plup, who I think have always kind of valued the, you know, stamina or the endurance kind of factor, for him it was always a tournament where he kind of hit the brakes a little bit. But okay, I mean, I think this one's gonna be pretty big, especially with who's actually attending this tourney, because we haven't seen Zain win one in a little bit. Zain getting a 4th place finish at, was it 4th place? 3rd place? How did he do at SmashCon? SmashCon was, let me pull up the top 8 here. 4th place finish at SmashCon, which, you know, was obviously, this is the first time we've really seen Zain go to losers early, where Zain was sent to losers really early, outside of top 64 by Wally. So Zayn's going to be coming in hungry. He definitely wants to win one, especially, you know, Zayn's looking to defend his #1 spot. I mean, he got #1 on the MPGR rankings, summer 2022, but on the flip side, you know, I think most people right now, if they made rankings today with all the events that of recent memory included, you know, events like Phantom, which weren't considered to be part of the season, then you probably give it to IBDW, right? So IBW, I don't think he's actually going to be at Shine. At least he's not on the, you know, entrance list right now. But regardless of that, you know, Zain, he's got a couple of his demons are going to be at this tournament, because Axe is going to be your Zain. Still never taken a set off Axe lifetime. J-Mook has been giving Zain a ton of trouble lately. And I mean, they're always game 5s. They're always close. But Zain has not been closing those out, as well as, I mean, even HBox, right? Like, HBox is somebody who historically Zain has been incredibly successful against, just hasn't really lost at all, except again at SmashCon, where finally HBox was actually able to close one out over Zain with a huge pop off. So for Zain, I mean, I think he's got a little bit of pressure on him to even win this one, even without players like Plup, without players like Leffen, and without players like IBDW in attendance. So this is a tough one for him for sure. He is one of the 3 Shine champions we have: Beauty King, Hungrybox, and Zain, the only people who have ever won a Shine. And Hungrybox with 2 wins, so Hungrybox looking for that 3-peat. I would say, you know, I'm coming into this tournament, I'm going to start talking about some predictions here. I mean, so, okay, I mean, the 2 data points we have recently, Wave Dash and SmashCon. I mean, J-Mook looked like a monster at Wave Dash. To me, J-Mook, right now, he looks like somebody who, he is arguably pretty much favored against, like, everybody. Everyone here except HBox, and that's the big one that J-Mook has to figure out. But on the flip side, every time he plays him, it's game 5. And the last time he played HBox, it was like he was kind of poised to win. He was up 2-0. And HBox kind of had to reverse sweep him. So, you know, it's funny because I would say 2 of the most interesting rivalries or matchups that I think we're very likely to see in finals at Shine. Probably J-Mook versus Zain and J-Mook versus HBox. And I think both of those sets, if you look at recent history, they look kind of skewed in one direction, where J-Mook is pretty heavily favored over Zain and HBox is pretty heavily favored over J-Mook. But then on the flip side, you know, they're not, if you actually watch the sets, I mean, they haven't been blowouts. They've been really close every single time. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of looking at him to kind of, he has to figure that one out, but I do feel like once he does, I don't know. I think he's going to start winning a good bit. I have this weird sense that he might kind of pull a Wizrobe and like figure the matchup out against HBox. And once that happens, I could see J-Mook winning 3 or 4 times in a row. Like that actually wouldn't shock me. And I'm wondering if that happens as soon as Shine. So J-Mook wasn't at SmashCon, only was at Wave Dash, but at a 2nd place finish, kind of beat the brakes off Mango, which was crazy. Just 3-0'd him. And yeah, I mean, I think J-Mook is just he's got to be one of the favorites for this tournament. I mean, it's basically a question of, does he end up fighting HBox? Obviously, we haven't seen the seeds yet. The seeding list at the time of this recording has not been released. If I'm seeding this thing, I mean, I don't know how much you weigh Mango's win. You could give Mango the 1 seed. I kind of have this weird sense they're going to give HBox the 1 seed, and they might give Mango the 2 seed. And if that ends up happening, you know, J-Mook probably will have to go through Mango. He'll have to go through 2 out of 3 of like Mango, Zain, and HBox. And that kind of goes for the rest of those guys as well. Like, I feel like in some order, it's probably gonna be like, if I was eating it, probably be like 1 HBox, 2 Mango, maybe 3. I don't even know, 3 J-Mook, 4 Zain, or 3 Zain, 4 J-Mook. It's hard to say. If I'm gonna give some bold predictions here, if I'm gonna go out on a limb, I think J-Mook is gonna do super well. I don't have any insight into how much he's grinding the Puff matchup right now. If he is, maybe this is the tournament where he finally cracks HBox open. Because it's looking like, and you know there's some, you know, HBox has been very vocal on Twitter lately about, oh, you know, why is this guy ranked above me? Why am I ranked number 4? Maybe I should have been number 3. I went to so many events, blah, blah, blah. You know, so if I'm J-Mook, you know, I'd be wanting to solidify that spot, right? He got the illustrious top 3, number 3 spot. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like this might be a really good tournament for J-Mook. Really curious to see how Zain does. I think for Zain, the question right now, it's less about, you know, I think this is a tougher list of players for him. I really do, because I think Zain, you know, Zain is likely to have to fight Axe. I would not be that shocked if Zain, if they gave Zain the 4 seed and then Axe's 5th seed, like, we might see Zain Axe in winners quarters, which is insane, right? That might even happen outside of top 8. So we've got the possibility of Zain having to go through, I don't know, Axe, J-Mook, and HBox to take the tournament, which he certainly can. But I think the question on Zain right now, for me, is less about character matchups and more about what's his mindset coming into this event. You know, is he letting the pressure get to him right now? You know, we saw, you know, I was listening to Mango talk on his stream about Zain's performance at SmashCon, and Mango was saying, you know, having done, obviously Mango more known for losers runs than basically anybody in the community. Mango's saying, you know, as soon as I saw him tweet, I'm going to win this tournament, Mango felt like that was a bad sign, because then you're putting all the expectations on yourself. You're kind of making yourself the guy to beat. And it's badass on one hand, but then on the other hand, you know, those expectations are going to catch up with you, and you're going to start feeling that pressure. That might have happened. I don't know. So I think for Zain, you know, he's been somebody who has only been the contestant or the competitor, the challenger to the throne. And now that he finally has it, you know, the mindset's going to have to take a little bit of a shift. And so, you know, for Zain, how's he going to handle that? Kind of remains to be seen. I think that he can beat every single player here easily. He's got, you know, I mean, he's looked a little bit more, a little less untouchable in recent months, which is something that I never thought I'd say after the Genesis into Pound back-to-back. And then you've got Mango. I think Mango and Axe in particular, you know, who are 2 players who were, you know, we'll just say underranked, obviously. I mean, not that they had the best results going into the last ranking, especially now coming out of SmashCon where they had really, really good performances, both of them. Both of them finishing in the top, I think 3, where Mango won the event, and actually, how did Axe do? Axe got, I guess this is 5th, because Zain would have gotten 4th, so this is 5th, tying with Crudo. So top 5 finish for Axe, top 6 finish, if you want to call it that. I mean, I would kind of assume that for both of them, that's a little bit of a weight off their shoulders, but I still wonder with a guy like Mango, you know, even though he won SmashCon, I mean, okay, he didn't have to fight Zain. J-Mook wasn't there, and just a week before that at Wave Dash, you know, J-Mook kind of beat Mango pretty hard at 3-0. So, I mean, I could be so bold as to say I feel like Mango back-to-backs and wins Shine. But I'm kind of thinking it's going to be J-Mook and Zain in some order are going to be my favorites to take this tournament. HBox, a big question mark right now. HBox could end up, I mean, I would say that if they gave him the 1st seed of the tournament, that wouldn't be that weird. But to me, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm not convinced. I need to see a little more from HBox. Even though, you know, he did really, really well. I mean, 1st place at Wave Dash and 2nd place at SmashCon, I would say that arguably would put him I would say that's the best performance of all these players on average out of the last 2 weeks. Obviously, J-Mick wasn't at SmashCon, but I don't know. I think Zain's going to be a little bit hungrier. I think he's going to be thinking about the matchup in a rejuvenated way. Mango is also looking to poise some new problems for HBox, and looking at some of these other players who are in this list of top players who are going to be competing. Actually, a lot of these players have done pretty well against HBox the last time they've played them. Like, I'm looking like players like Kadoran, who beat HBox in winners at Wave Dash. Saint in the Ditto has actually given HBox some problems lately, you know? Even players like SJ and Ginger. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You know, I think HBox, he can go in a lot of different directions, obviously, but for some reason, I'm feeling J-Mick, and this is going to be a tournament where the players that I've got my eye on are J-Mick and Zain. Those are the big question marks to me. And the people that I think probably have the highest shot at taking the tournament. I'm going to be so bold as to say I think Grand Finals is going to be J-Mick and Zain. And I mean, unless J-Mick is losing to HBox somehow, I kind of feel like J-Mick is going to be coming in from winners. Granted, it's hard to say without looking at the list of the actual seeds. You know, before the seeding gets finalized, we don't know how the bracket's going to play out. We don't know who's going to have to fight who to get into Grands. But those are kind of those are the big storylines for me coming into this tournament, and it's kind of refreshing because like there's not really a lot of Fox. I'm looking at this list of top players competing, and there's like no Fox. You know, Leffen again absent, Plup absent, IBW absent. Obviously, Mango's been playing a lot of Fox these days, so I do think we'll see a good bit of Mango Fox. But okay, not a solo main, right? So it's an interesting lineup coming into this tournament where we're gonna see a lot of other characters, a lot of Falco and Ginger Magi, we've got Pikachu for Max, and then obviously the Sheep, the Marth, the Puff. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this one. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that that I'm on the money with this one, or am I talking out of my ass and it's gonna be another H-God sweep? I think the thing that I'm overarchingly looking for is, can those players who have some really tough, like bracket demon for themselves that they have a really tough time with, who's going to be able to overcome their bracket demons? I think that's the person. Like, if J-Mick can overcome the floaties like HBox and Amso, or if Mango can overcome Zain, or if Zain can overcome the Sheiks and, let's say, Axe, you know, not that we've seen them play in a long time, they're the person I think is going to be the best suited to be in, like, you know, to set themselves up for potentially making a run for the #1 spot at the end of the year. And that's the overarching narrative that I'm looking for coming into Shine. Who's going to beat their bracket demon? Who's going to do the homework and get that extra level of preparation?